El Loco Chávez by Carlos Trillo and Horacio Altuna. Carlos Trillo is an Argentinian writer. He has written a lot of comics, a lot. He has collaborated with a lot of artists. I think he's one of the best writers, comic writers there is, and because he has versatility. He is a guy who can see the style of the artist and work out a story that benefits and this art style. So in Loco Chávez we have here Horacio Altuna, who has this really like realistic kind of style. He draws people really well on human expression, hands, the arms, bodies, clothing. So what we have here is like a daily strip. So these were originally, like a rectangular comic strip, and it was daily on some newspaper, and it is about this journalist called Loco Chávez, and every story is like a case or a story he has to follow. I don't know if this one I don't think translate very well. It's maybe if you just read this on the original language. And well, this edition is just recommendable if you want to read some of Loco Chávez and get to know what's about the style. Is it funny? Is it serious? Maybe it's both. It is both. But the edition itself is really bad. This one came damaged because the paper is not that good, and the binding is very stiff. The size is really small. Here you have this, for example, this regular sized comic, but on this one you have like a lot of text and it's really small. On the art side, style in the drawings also are very small on this edition. Sometimes they destroy the strips, for they have these big panels and then some small ones. If you like formalism, it's not really the best edition, but there are not really good editions of this material. Hope someday there will be, but for now, all we have. And the stories are about, for example, this team work on they have some other works. For example, these ones, Charlie Moon, this one is set on the US. Great Depression era. Here we have Horacio Altuna making some beautiful pages with a great art style. So these are works, and Trillo is also the writer on this. Altuna can do this kind of stuff. This art style is not the one he you find on the on the on the Loco Chávez, because it was a daily strip. It's still very good, and you can tell it's Altuna, but it's not on the same level. Or maybe it is, and they just have to do a good edition of it. Sure, but whatever. The stories are, for example, this one is about Loco Chavez has to go to get an interview with some important person who never gives interviews, but he ends up flirting, having an affair with this girl, and this girl is this important person's daughter. So he ends up having this interview at the end. We have this one where he goes to a company theater and has to cover this story about this new play, and this play has like the typical old, the really young and beautiful actress, and the one that before, that on an ancient time was the young and beautiful, but now she's old. And well, a lot of stuff happens. She ends up trying to commit suicide, and then now she doesn't die, but she ends up on the hospital, and a lot of people are again like interested in her, and the turntables flip, and the young beautiful one is hated. Sure. We have this other story about this old, this one is really sad. It's about this old lawyer and really famous, and it's like the best lawyer, and he gives up all his life, his sons, the buffet, because he wants to reconnect with his friends, and a lot of stuff. It's that kind of story about being reflective on your whole life and feeling like you missed something. It's a really sad story with a really sad ending. We have this character, for example, that goes to therapy in the 80s. We have the story about, this co-worker that basically is a story about him being in love with, he's divorced from his wife, he has children, and maybe he's in his 40s, and now he's going out with another girl, his partner, but he's in love with his partner's daughter. And this is not in a funny way. It's like the story takes it really seriously. It has a lot of it's mainly the story about this old guy being with this young girl, and how society looks at it, and if it is sincere, the jealousy and that kind of stuff. I thought, well, the plot is like, it's like a comedy, but when you start reading it, it's not treated like that. So that's, of course, it has its funny bits, but mainly the tone is really serious. Yeah. we have this other story about model agency, women, men, and loneliness. And in the end, we have this final story. Okay, this was published like in 15 years. This is not the 15 years. I think all the stories collected in here are from the 80s. I know this was released on the 70s and 80s. You can look up on Wikipedia, and also YouTube has a video about Loco Chávez. Is an interview with Horacio Altuna. And the last story is really long, over 100 pages in this amount of text. And it's about the Loco Chávez living in Argentina, going to Spain because of work. It's about goodbyes and love, basically, and it ends. It is the final story. The whole Loco Chávez has never been collecting like it happens in the US with a lot of comic strips like The Crazy or Peanuts or Calvin and Hobbes, that you have like these whole libraries of materials. Now this one is I think we have this edition and maybe another one, some really thin books. So the whole Loco Chávez has never been collected. I recommend that if at some point it is announced that someone will collect all this material, you go for it, because I was surprised by how good the dialogues and like the slice of life kind of theme was treated. It feels very real of a time, and it makes you wonder about how things have changed, like people perspective on things. They talk about feminism in this. It's not like I am one, but it is interesting to contrast what is said on here and what is said now. What is being said now, like change of view. Maybe there aren't any. So if you cross your path on this book, I would recommend to acquire it. But if you just want the best, for example, if you want to buy some Altuna drum books, you maybe just have to go for the best ones. And these are the best ones. They are complete. And yeah, this one is more a character that was in the making for a lot of time, so it's a different kind of read. I think it's worth if you have it, but not maybe to look for it, But yeah, that's it, I think.